But yeah, we'll talk about both movies after a fancy little horror themed top five. What you got for us, Jared?
Yeah. Well, we got an appropriate one. We're doing best production design in a horror. Um, I'm excited. We both appreciate some good PD, and so I don't know. I feel like my list is once again fairly basic, but I think it's fairly accurate too. I'm happy with what I came up with.
Yeah, I think I have two basic picks,
Okay.
three basic picks. Yeah,
I think we'll have an overlapping basic pick almost guaranteed on this.
yeah,
I'll be shocked if we don't.
yeah. Same, same, same.
Uh, why don't you
Um,
kick us off?
yeah, sure, I'll do that. My number five is the production design by Mark Digby on the film Annihilation.
Mm,
Annihilation is
I
not a
forgot
perfect
about
movie,
that.
but for Mark Digby's only venture into horror as a production designer, I think he absolutely killed it. I think the claustrophobic interior scenes feel super tense, um, but even the wide open meadows feel dangerous, and I think that's very, very difficult to do. I think he worked super well with his art director to produce beautiful and haunting visuals that have been in my head since the trailer.
Mhm.
I'm thinking of the guy who turns into a fungus on the wall. Like that's just one of the
Yo,
coolest images I've ever seen.
the fucking
Um,
flowery deer that just strolls on through. It's
yeah, so
gorgeous. It's a
yeah,
gorgeous fucking movie.
it's great. It's great. I love it. And I feel like I owe it a rewatch. Maybe I'll do that for my spooky month rewatches and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
um,
I'm bummed I forgot about that movie because that's an excellent pick.
nice.
Good shit. That's also one of those. I feel like Annihilation and The Lighthouse are the two movies that Renata will die on appreciating.
Yeah, I
you
I
you love them.
I haven't picked either of them just so that he could be free to pick them in the future.
You, I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
Yep.
Um, Coming in at my number five is one from a director I probably jerk off too much on this podcast.
Oh, geez.
Production designed by Arthur Max, known for Gladiator, Prometheus, Panic Room, Black Hawk Down, The Martian, and Seven by David Fincher.
Ooh.
I love it. I love a lot of the scares come from the production design, which is a rare thing in horror. I feel like,
Yeah.
but with a antagonist like this who likes to set up artful tableaus of violence, you kind of need somebody to kill it, and he fucking killed it.
Yeah.
It's hauntingly gorgeous, but it's also very frightening. The more I rewatch this movie, the less I like it for some reason. But one thing that stays true every single time is the production design fucking carries this thing, and I love it.
Um, Number four. My number four is for a film called Trick or Treat.
Mm.
Um, by the production design is by Mark S. Freeborn, who did a bunch of cool stuff for the X Files and Breaking Bad. And I think this his work here is beautiful. The premise is an anthology that kind of links and disconnects with all the different stories, and I think it's beautiful. The entire town takes Halloween super seriously, um, and so every single setting feels really believable. From the first of these twisted tales, because of how great every structure on every block on every street of this town looks. It's a really, really fun movie. They don't just throw in jack o' lanterns and call it a night. They really go all out, and I
Mhm.
appreciate that about it.
Yeah, honestly, it's one that I didn't expect to like as much as I do.
Yeah.
I'm a fan for sure. My number four is is another classic one. I love this movie a lot. A lot of people love this movie, so that's not a hot take. Um, if you're gonna clash genres, you really need the setting to shine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the movies that is at the top of that list, and maybe the top in terms of production design to feature multiple genres, and that's Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth, production design by Eugenio Caballero and Pilar Revuelta.
I don't know.
Can't wait to butcher those names. Yeah, it's fucking gorgeous. The separation of like worlds between the real world, like military base life, and the world of the fawn and the fantasy world is fucking gorgeous. You get beautiful set pieces like the faceless man's
Mm-hmm.
scene. It's just gorgeous from front to back. I mean, Guillermo del Toro always kind of does, and he always fucking kills it.
Yeah.
But I think this and like maybe Shape of Water even are my two favorite production designs from his movies. And this is fucking incredible. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. 100%. I agree. It's so good. Um, Also, stepping outside of the states for my number three. By I'm doing a 70s classic called
Mm.
Suspiria. In 1977. I'm gonna really butcher this one. Giuseppe Bassan, I think is how you say it. Sorry if not. But this legend did some amazing, was in charge of some amazing set design and really, really brilliant attention to detail within and outside the various spaces of this film.
Mm.
Um, they shot mostly interiors with anamorphic lenses. So the Tovoli, the cinematographer, he actually has a lot to work with. And so every single frame is decorated beautifully with the way the house is designed and with the various haunted rooms and all that stuff, and it gives and I think because of the work that Bassan did, they really him and Argento were really able to play with the crazy lighting and really do some cool stuff, and that's why
Mm.
the cinematography is hailed as one of the best of all time in horror.
Yeah. I don't think it would be the classic it is today without the production design.
Yep, yep, yep.
Um, Excellent shit. I'm keeping it new, at least for the time being, with 2016's Nicholas Winding Refn's The Neon Demon.
Ooh,
Uh, it's a fucking gorgeous film.
yeah.
It gets a lot of praise for its lighting, but I don't think the lighting would match at all if it wasn't for the set pieces and the costuming. You get fucking gorgeous high fashion mixed with like weird kind of art deco type environments with super
Yeah.
lush design. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful film. It may not be his highest praised. I think people actually generally liked this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But production designer Elliot Hostetter absolutely fucking killed it. And it's a great film and it's a gorgeous film.
Hell yeah, I agree. Very narrowly missed my list actually. I love the
Yeah.
Neon Demon. Um, my number two is also pretty new, not super new, but pretty new. By another name I can't pronounce. I think he's French. So Hubert Puy, HubertPoille. I'm just gonna spell out his name for the fans, I guess. But his work on Mandy, I think, somehow feels
Mm,
both low budget and epic at the same time.
yeah.
I think it's absolutely beautiful. I love the look and the feel of the chemist's laboratory, the cult's church. What are they called? Children of the New Dawn, or something like that.
Mm,
Their church that's like brand new built. The house that Mandy and Red stay in is so wholesome and domestic and just nice and cozy. And the crazy dungeon with the psychedelic biker gang, I think is also an amazing. These are just really hypnotic spaces that I can look at for hours if I had the time. Just with the concept art.
Yeah.
I think this movie is also very people use the term phantasmagoric, and that of course comes through the music, through the costume design, but the overall production design, like you need the space to feel like you're inside one of those 80s VHS covers.
Yeah.
Like you want to feel like you're inside one of those when you're watching Mandy, and I think this guy definitely accomplished that.
Yeah. Very, very good film. I absolutely loved it. I watched it with my dad, and he absolutely hated it,
Yeah.
which I think is means that it's a good it's a good gory fest. Uh,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
great movie. My number two, we're going into the classics. With my number two pick, a little bit of an indie film. You may have heard of it, you might not have. It's The Shining.
Yeah.
Yeah, production design by Roy Walker, who also did Talented Mr. Ripley, Eyes Wide Shut, and Good Morning Vietnam.
Wow.
Um, it's gorgeous. The Overlook Hotel is a fucking classic amongst horror. There's references to it all over the goddamn place, especially the carpet. The carpet's just the most fucking iconic carpet in horror. Um, yeah, it's haunting. It's creepy. It's weird, and it's ever morphing. And I think he did a great job making it look like it could be a normal hotel, but also making it the creepiest goddamn hotel of your life. And so shout out Roy Walker.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Um, excellent pick. Excellent pick.
Thank you.
My number one is pretty obvious if you know me.
Yeah.
It's
I think you might be able to say our number one.
it's Michael Seymour's work on the film Alien. Uh,
What?
da, 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 da. Yeah, there's a reason why this movie is one of the best movies of all time. Why
Yeah.
the production design is so influential, not just within sci-fi horror, but just within horror in general. People have used their spaces now to communicate weird body horror and psychosexual horror throughout history since 1979 when this movie came out.
Hmm.
Um, the atmosphere and the constant claustrophobia allow the dread of the alien or the xenomorph to fester in our brains, I will go no further because I think we'll hear more soon. But yeah, Michael Seymour for Alien number one.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be number one for us in particular.
Yeah,
We both fucking adore this movie. But it's great. You get like even small references to motherhood with like the sleeping pods and
yeah,
the alien's nest design, and like it's so creepy the way the xenomorph blends in into the environment is horrifying. The design of the xenomorph itself is fucking horrifying. um yeah, everything about this just gels perfectly because of the production design. And like I mentioned with Pan's Labyrinth, mixing genres, you look no further than that movie and this movie. uh Number one's just gotta be Alien.
hell yeah, hell yeah. I absolutely agree. Um, but yeah, that was our
Cool.
favorite production designers in horror. Tune in next week for more top fives.
Yeah.
uh,
Hope
or
you
you could
enjoyed the podcast.
hope you enjoyed
Goodbye.
the podcast. But stick around because we're going to talk about some crazy movies with also great production design as well. I made a
Yeah,
note.
that is
Um,
true.
but yeah, shall we fly on over to Texas?